Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GoalGetHer Podcast. Today, we're joined by a rising star who's redefining Spanish language indie pop with authenticity, freshness, and a whole lot of heart. Friné Alejo is a Mexican composer and musician who first captured attention as part of the duo Juanpalitoschinos and is now forging her own path as a solo artist. With her unique blend of alternative pop, dream pop, and tropical influences, Friné has built a sound that's all her own. Her new single, Señales, inspired by 2000 synth pop, dives into the emotional roller coaster of modern relationships. Friné's music continues to resonate across Mexico, the US, and beyond, full of soul, reflection, and contagious positivity. Friné, we are so excited to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and chat with you too.
Great. So let's go back to the beginning. Where did you grow up? Where are you based? When you were a kid, did you think you were going to be a singer and songwriter?
Uh, it's actually very funny. I feel like I've always grown close to music, but because my dad was a musician, is a musician. He's a bass guitar player. My mom is more like on the creative side. She always did art and like historical art in Mexico. I grew up in Mexico, was born in Mexico City. Um, And we moved to Cancun for a while. I lived there for 10 years and I always I remember my childhood with live music all the time. My dad would have to work. They had me really young. They had me like when they were 18 years old. So my dad would be like, I have to go to a bar and like play covers at this bar. Can you go with me? And I was like, sick. Yeah, I'm going to get free iced tea, of course. And I remember just chilling and experiencing music from very early ages, but I've never thought that I would be doing music. Because I've always saw my dad like, I'm not gonna say struggling, but you know how the music industry is and like having a band, and I was always like very respectful about it. I was always like, well, if I don't do music, I might work in the music industry and I would want to be a manager, say. And when I was in the university, I studied arts back in Mexico City. Uh, but I've always liked hanging out with friends that did music and my dad with his friends always. And I don't know, I feel like little by little I started being like, oh, maybe I do want to sing live. And then some friends would invite me over for their groups, like, I don't know, projects. And I would sing cumbia or I would sing rock or I would sing whatever they want me to do. And it started after by doing Juan Palitos Chinos with the other partner I had. And I feel like doing music was really effortless and I low key wanted it, but it was just a hobby, like I didn't want to take it that seriously until uh until it became a job. And then now with the solo projects, I don't know, I just do composition for different bands and I think like it became really weird. At first it was just like a hobby and then it ended being like something really professionally, but it flowed so easily. So I don't know. It was like a surprise to me. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That's the
I
story.
love that. Yeah,
Eh.
no, definitely. It's your own personal journey, and that's, of course, what we're here to share on this podcast. So, but fast forwarding, I guess, you're now working on your first solo project, right? So, how has your creative process kind of changed from everything you just talked about to now working on your own music?
I feel like there's not that much difference. I feel like once you have somehow successful uh music project, it's pretty much the same template, but now it applies to different personalities to the artist. That happens in composition too. Like when someone hires me to compose, it's like, oh, we're doing northern music. What are we gonna do? Of course, for my solo project, it has been really nice because it's been more intimate. It's not only about writing and finding the true voice of what or the lyrics or the melody of what the artist wants. It's more of like, what do I want? And I feel like it's a little bit more overwhelming sometimes, but I love that. And I feel like it's been very raw, or it's more intimate than doing I don't know, that working and collaborating with other people. I would say it's still very collaborative because I do work with some producers and I really enjoy hiring different musicians and see what they want to put into the music. And I love that working with people. But it is really nice. It's like writing your diary in a way, and then you have to read it out loud. So you have to be
For
like,
the whole world.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's really weird. It's very, you're like bare naked when you're doing your own music, I feel like, as a solo project. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
I was listening
different it is.
to yeah,
Sorry.
I was listening to your
Oh,
songs, and it reminded me of like Olivia Dean meets Sabrina Carpenter, and it was yeah. I saw it. I was
this is
like,
like
wait, is
the
this?
best. This is like the best compliment I've had
No, I
in
swear.
months. Oh my gosh.
I
Thank
swear
you.
I was like, wait, is Olivia Dean singing in Spanish? What is this? Like, no, but I love the your songs and your latest single, of course. So I figure your sound blends like tropicalized pop and alternative, like dreamy. Like, what inspired you to pursue that mix? Because it's very unique. How did you discover that this was the style that you wanted to do?
Thank you so much. I feel like I still can't get over that thing that you just said. It is great. It's impressive because I feel like I love consuming music. Like if I'm not doing music, I'm like scrolling through playlists. I would listen to shoegaze. I would listen to post punk. I would listen to weird, I don't know, like other like Ukrainian or like Nordic different stuff. Like I love exploring music genres, and I feel like in Mexico, Latin pop is very specific and it's very electronic. And something that I've always liked is this soul pop or stuff that, and for instance, Olivia Dean, which she is like a very big reference. I remember being like, I've never listened to soul pop in Spanish. Like it's really hard to find uh girls that do that kind of music. I would love to evoke that little sounds that is like more nostalgic and like do 80s music and like work on the studio that it is Mexican and it is in Spanish, but I like that tropicalized like sounds that is like it sounds that if I don't listen to the language, it would be something not mainstream, but something that you would listen to the radio and it would sound universal. That will be it. So that's what I've always liked,
Yeah,
and I love Donna Summer and like Icons and pop music is like I always go back. Like, I will be listening to new disco, new punk, or like really like slam music and like metal and whatever. But at the end of the day, my favorite is pop, and that's why I wanted to do for Friné too, like to sound more like a universal diva. But I don't know. I like that it's in Spanish. I would never change the the language.
Yeah.
I like that.
Definitely. I have a few cousins actually. They do, well, it's very different, but they do opera singing out in like LA. And so they've always told me how like difficult it is to break into that scene. And I think it can sometimes be even more difficult as a woman. So I'm kind of interested to hear your perspective on that. Like, what has been some of the biggest challenges breaking out into the scene, or even the independent scene, right? Writing your own music. And what has kind of helped you get through or jump over those obstacles?
Yeah, I feel like that happens everywhere. I mean, I'm pretty sure that in LA
Yeah.
it must be pretty hard. Like,
Yeah,
but
I've heard some crazy I've heard
yeah,
the opera world is a bit competitive, but I figure every music industry is probably pretty competitive.
yeah,
Only, top people make it to the top.
it is. It is crazy. I feel like working. I'm gonna say like this sounds stupid and very mainstream, but like working really hard, yes, but also if someone closes the door to your project or you feel like someone is not believing in your project, someone will. I feel like uh nowadays the music industry in Mexico overall is a little bit more open to women. I feel like I'm in a very
Mm.
privileged position and like era in time where I feel like in the 90s or the early 2000s would have been so different. Um but definitely have approached different situations where it's like, oh, okay, well, my maybe my project was not like a true match for this person or this record label, or I don't know, but someone will. And there's gotta
Yeah.
be, yeah, just like trying and like not even selling your music or selling yourself, but it's like, and when it's wrong and it feels really, I don't know, like, I don't know, in your heart and trust your intuition when someone doesn't align with what you want for your project. And I feel like getting out of there as soon as possible and just like looking for someone else and like keep creating until someone will find you. I feel like that will be what I would do and how I've been doing it. And I feel like I've like ran away from really weird situations, and Friné is going pretty good. But yeah, just be more intuitive. And I feel like amongst women, we are more
Yeah.
aware of what's going on and how people handle it. And yeah, just be aware and follow intuition. It sounds really witchy, but it is true. It is true. You can apply it to your career.
Yeah.
It could be it's an artist or painter or musician. Like it is really like that.
You're right. I'm gonna follow my gut more often. You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The
Follow that spidey sense sometimes.
Yeah. 100%. So let's talk about your latest single, Señales. It's such a fun yet emotional song, nostalgic, but I think totally fresh. So we want to know more about your diary entries. What inspired that song?
It is a really funny story. I feel like that was the very first time I wrote music with other songwriters for the first time. It was this Ecuadorian guy called Jorge Neme and this other guy. They're both from Ecuador actually. Jorge Neme and Jaime Bell. And they are really good for like Latino music and reggaeton. And it's a style that I've never approached and I've always found so interesting. I've always liked Danny Ocean and I love how they merge it
Mm.
with pop. And I remember us talking about Sabrina Carpenter and being obsessed with those dreamy sounds and being like, oh, maybe we should do a fun song. And we had the melody and everything, but we didn't know what we wanted to talk about. We had no lyrics. And then I remember I was like, "Well, what are you reading?" I asked Jorge, and he was like, "Well, I'm reading about the history of Dominican Republic." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "I have a lot of friends from Dominican Republic where they like kind of like bully you a little in order for them to like express that they like you." And I was like, "Yeah, they're like cheeky. They're like flirty. They kind of like nag you a little bit, and they're like, oh, I like you. If you like reply to them like, let me be, or you also matched with their energy, they like it. We're like, why don't we make like I don't know a song about mixed signals, right? So the song talks about I know it's very playful and it's like I know you like me, but you're calling me at 3 a.m., but what do you want from me? And now you're ghosting me. But we wanted to keep that upbeat of like pop and a little bit of I don't know, like dreamy sounds. And nowadays I feel like pop stars do more musical forward
Mm.
music and lyrics, like and how playful Sabrina Carpenter is with that. And we wanted to approach that. And I feel like it was pretty cool. Like it turned out to be like a Latino pop song. Um, yeah, I really liked it. It was very fresh to make. I would have never thought that I would write a song like that 2 years ago.
Okay, well, sticking with the same song, we're super interested because we noticed the entire music video was shot in analytical camera. It's like how, and I guess I wanted to capture the chaos and the beauty of it all kind of wrapped into one. What was that filming experience like? Was it a lot of fun, or what were some of,
Yeah.
why did you choose to go that direction?
It was so much fun. I feel like I filmed that with one of my best friends. She's a photographer. She also did the single cover at a girls' night out. And it was, her name is Marina Figueroa. And we just wanted to make like a kind of a music video that, I don't know, invited you to be like in a girls getting ready before, we filmed that at my place, and we used little candles and a camcorder, and I was doing my makeup, and I was like, like, oh, why are you ghosting me? And that kind of thing. So I really liked it because it looks very retro and very organic. And at the end of the day, it's being a little bit sexy and playful like the song. And it was really fun. I feel like at the end of the day, um, it wouldn't have been that fun if I didn't do it with my friends and we didn't go to a bar after. But we did it. The story, I don't know, it was very organic, and I really like that vibe. I think I would definitely do it again. I don't know what happened to that camera recorder actually. Maybe I still have it. But yeah, that was the music video.
That's so cool. I think your songs always seem to balance like reflection with positivity, right? How do you stay grounded and keep that optimism during your creative process?
That's a good question. I feel like I always guide myself amongst my like with my friends. I know that there are a lot of friends of mine that inspire me professionally and I don't know for daily life and how they style their lives and like everything. And I feel like I also want to inspire people to do that. So I don't know. I've gotten a little bit of pressure, but it's genuine. Like, oh, if I want to do this project or if I want to keep positive, what kind of energy would I want to give to someone who wants to do the same or someone who like looks up to me? And it's really weird to look at it that way, but I feel like the most true it stays. And again, about gut feeling, if I don't feel it wrong, then it's fine. And yeah, I always care about not harming others. I would say, like, as long as like make doing art as long as it doesn't harm anyone, it's
Mhm.
okay. Like that's my main motto for like keeping it positive and like inviting people and women to do like I don't know to finally go for it.
Yeah, and keep kind of this growing movement alive. I feel like there's such a growing wave of women shaping Mexico's independent music scene right now. We just had another person on a few months ago. It was amazing, Coffee. So how does it kind of
Love.
feel? Yeah, she was great. How does it
She's
feel to
so
be
cool.
part of that movement with people like Coffee? And what do you hope your impact on the space will be down the line?
I don't know. It feels so weird. I mean, I feel honored that you're like associating me amongst those people. Like she's so cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, of course, the imposter syndrome always hits. But I feel like doing artistry from illustrations when I was very early till now that I'm doing like a solo music project, I feel like believing it, like finally treating it like I'm an artist and I'm doing this and I'm the voice amongst Latinas, like in this bit, and they would see me like a pop icon. I would love it, and I don't know, it feels really really cool. There are a lot of hardworking musicians amongst all the girls that, for instance, Paloma Morphy is like touring and doing so many fun stuff, and it's so nice to see and be part of like that. I mean, it's interesting how nowadays we can tour outside of Mexico. I feel like 10 years ago that would not even be
Mm.
a thing, and I feel like it's so nice to see different personalities and not even in a competitive way. Uh, I don't know. They're like we're just like I don't know, not even racing. We're just like galloping at the same time and seeing like,
I
oh,
like
there you
that.
go, you're going, and I
I
really love
love
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
bringing everyone along with you. I love
Yeah.
exactly.
that.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I feel about this new wave. Thank you for considering part of it.
Of course. For women listening who want to pursue the creative path, whether it's making music, making art, besides what you just mentioned, which is believing in yourself and following your gut, what's like one piece of advice you'd share from your own journey?
I would say that everyone has at some point they have no idea what they're doing in their lives either. Like everything could be so mundane and just a single message and approaching to people that you might think would get along with the project or whatever they want to do. And just sending a message, like shooting that message, even if you're like, I don't know if they're going to text me back or what if they don't like me. There's always a chance. Like you already have the no. So I don't know. Like I would say talking to people, like go to that event. Like don't let that little shadow in the back of your head that you're like doubting yourself to not go to that event or send that email. It might really work. Just just do it. Just talk to people because a lot of people are like looking for the stuff that you're doing and you didn't know. I would do that. I would say that.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that loops in with what you said before, is believing in yourself, right? Just keep going because someone out there will see what you bring to the table and how special it is. And you just have to find that person in that crowd, that group of people who will back you. And I think that goes for, like you said, any industry, right? Not just music.
Yeah.
I think that's super valuable. But before we wrap up, super fun, we have 2 more questions for you. What is there a song or a project? It doesn't have to be the song that we just spoke about, your single, that holds a special place in your heart for all these years?
Ooh. It's just the solo project is very brand new, and it's been like 6 months and we do have some songs in the vault. I'm very excited. The next single is gonna be, I think it's one of like the most, I don't know how to say it. Because when I make pop music, like I try to hint personal experiences, but this upcoming song is gonna be about uh my fiance and I, and it talks about the relationship and it's pretty fun.
Mm.
I'm really excited. I think that will be the one that I'm very excited and I love so much.
Ooh, we'll have to
Well,
keep
we
an eye
can't
out for
wait to
sure.
hear it.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. But yeah, it'll come this year. I can't tell when yet, but yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool, cool. We'll be we'll be on the lookout. And so this is the last question and our favorite question to ask to every single guest. And I love when we get to ask it to a musician. If your life had a theme song, what would it be and why?
Oh my God. Uh it depends on the day. I don't know. I feel like lately I've been listening to Chic a lot. Back to
Mm,
Chic again. I would say, what is it? I Want Your Love would be a pretty
good
good
one.
anthem. But sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes my life is like Curb Your Enthusiasm. Not gonna lie. Depends. Depends on the at the end of the day.
Depends on the mood, depends the time of the
Yeah.
month. Yeah, we're all women here, we know.
Those would be my two anthems. Yeah.
I love it. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us on the Go Getter Podcast. This is so much fun. Do you have anything else you wanna say before we wrap up?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. It was a really fun talk. And yeah, I invite everyone to listen to my music and follow me on social media as Friné or Frines. And yeah, I'll keep you posted with more music.
Stunning. Okay, yeah, for everyone listening, we're gonna drop all her information in this show bio, so feel free to go down there and check her out. And then, as always, make sure to follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok at GoalGetHer Podcast for updates and great content. And don't forget to tune in. We have bi-weekly episodes you will not want to miss. Thanks, everyone. Bye.